Every night, somewhere right now, millions of adults over 50 are doing the exact same thing. They have brushed their teeth. They have turned off the lights. They have done everything they were told to do. And they are lying in bed, completely still, completely tired, with their eyes wide open. If that is you, I need you to hear something that might sting a little. It is not your fault. But it is also not your age. See, what most people believe is that sleep just naturally falls apart after 50. That waking up at 2 a.m. is the tax you pay for getting older. That restless nights are simply how it is now. And because they believe that, they stop looking for the real answer. But the research tells a very different story. Harvard Health, the Cleveland Clinic, Mayo Clinic, they all point to the same overlooked problem. For most older adults, the issue is not that the body has forgotten how to sleep. The issue is that the nervous system never received the signal that it was safe to shut down. The engine is still running. And no amount of melatonin or chamomile tea is going to turn off an engine. You need the key. Today, I'm going to hand you that key. 3 simple practices you can do tonight, in your bed, in under 10 minutes. No equipment, no getting on the floor, nothing that requires flexibility or strength. The first 2 will surprise you with how gentle they are. But the third one is the reason I made this video. It is the simplest thing you will ever do for your sleep, and my patients consistently tell me it is the most powerful. You will be lying still, doing almost nothing, and your body will begin to shut down on its own. I have seen it change people's nights within a week. But I have to walk you through them in order, because the sequence matters. So stay with me. If you are new here, kindly subscribe to this channel to get great health tips to help aging easier and peaceful. Returning subscribers, thank you for coming back again, and do not forget to like this video and share with your friends and family. I'm Dr. John. I've spent 15 years in clinical practice, working directly with adults over 50, and I focus on the health challenges that come with aging, sleep, inflammation, heart health, mobility, brain health. The things that affect whether you feel like yourself or whether you feel like you are slowly losing ground. Now let's get back to why we are here. Sleep is one thing quietly touches everything else. When sleep falls apart, energy falls, mood falls, memory gets foggy, balance gets shaky, the body stops repairing the way it should. So when we fix sleep, we are not just fixing one thing. We are giving the whole body a chance to recover. That is why I take this topic so seriously, and that is why I want to walk you through exactly what I give my own patients. As we get older, the body's internal clock, what doctors call the circadian rhythm, naturally shifts. Older adults tend to feel sleepy earlier in the evening and wake earlier in the morning. On top of that, we spend less time in deep, slow wave sleep, and we wake more often during the night. That part is biology. You cannot argue with it. But here is the part no one talks about. The reason most people over 50 struggle to fall asleep is not the rhythm shift itself. It is accumulated tension. Decades of stress, worry, responsibilities, physical strain, all of it builds up in the nervous system. During the day you manage it, you push through. But at night, when there are no distractions left, your nervous system is still running on daytime fuel. It is alert. It is scanning. It is waiting for the next thing to handle. And you are lying there wondering why you cannot sleep. This is not insomnia in the clinical sense for most people. This is a body that never got the signal to stop. It is an engine idling in the driveway long after the drive is over. And the cost is real. Ongoing poor sleep has been connected in the research to weakened immune function, elevated blood pressure, increased fall risk, memory decline, and mood changes. Sleep is when your brain clears waste. Sleep is when your muscles repair. Sleep is when your heart gets a break. Miss enough of it, and the whole system starts to fall behind. So this matters. Deeply. But here is the part that should give you hope. The solution is not complicated. Your body already knows how to sleep. It has been doing it your entire life. It just needs the right cues to remember. Let me show you what is going on under the surface, so you understand why these 3 practices work. Your nervous system operates on 2 tracks. One is the accelerator, the sympathetic nervous system. It handles alertness, stress, reaction. It is the part that kept your ancestors alive when something dangerous was nearby. The other track is the brake, the parasympathetic nervous system. That is the one responsible for rest, digestion, and repair. It is the setting your body needs to be in for sleep to happen. Now imagine a seesaw. On one side sits the accelerator, on the other sits the brake. In a healthy rhythm, the accelerator dominates during the day and the brake takes over at night. The seesaw tips. But for millions of people over 50, that seesaw is stuck. The accelerator side is weighed down with tension that never got released. Tight shoulders, a stiff lower back, shallow breathing that has become so habitual you do not even notice it. And the brake side? It is up in the air, waiting, unable to touch the ground. Everything we are about to do tonight is designed to shift weight onto the brake, gently, slowly, until the seesaw tips and your body enters the state it has been trying to reach all along. We are not forcing sleep. You cannot force sleep, and if you have ever tried, you already know that. What we are doing is removing the obstacles that are keeping your body from doing what it naturally wants to do. Let us walk through the 3 practices now. Do them in this order. The sequence matters because each one builds on the one before it. The whole routine takes about 10 minutes. Practice 1, the seated shoulder and neck melt. We start here because this is where your body stores the day. The shoulders, the neck, the base of the skull, tension camps out in these areas for hours, sometimes days, and most people have no idea how much they are carrying until they stop and pay attention. So here is what to do. Sit on the edge of your bed, feet flat on the floor, hands resting gently on your thighs. Do not lie down yet. Sitting upright for this first practice gives gravity something to work with. Now, slowly lift your shoulders up toward your ears, not aggressively, just gently, and then roll them back and down in a smooth, easy circle, like you are drawing a slow oval with the tops of your shoulders. Do 5 or 6 of these, then reverse the direction, forward and down, 5 or 6 more. Let your breath move with the motion. There is no goal here except softness. Then add the neck. Let your right ear drift gently toward your right shoulder. Do not pull it. Do not push. Just let the weight of your head create the stretch and breathe into it. 3 slow breaths on that side. Then the other side. 3 slow breaths. Why does this matter inside the body? Research published in the Journal of Sleep Medicine and reviewed by the Cleveland Clinic confirms that gentle stretching before bed helps reduce cortisol and signals the nervous system to begin shifting away from alertness. When you release the physical tension in the neck and shoulders, you are not just loosening muscles, you are telling the brain that the threat level has dropped, that the day is winding down, that it is safe to ease off. Think of this as loosening the grip. Your body has been holding on all day. This is you, gently, prying the fingers open. Practice 2, the lying knee sway. Now ease yourself into bed. Lie flat on your back. If your lower back is sensitive, place a pillow under your knees. Comfort is the priority here, always. Bend both knees so your feet rest flat on the mattress. Let your arms relax at your sides, palms facing up. And then, slowly, let both knees drift to the right. Not far, just a few inches, or wherever feels easy. Then, bring them back to center. Then let them drift to the left, back to center, right, left, slow, like a pendulum winding down. Do this for about 45 seconds to a minute. No counting, no performance, just easy, rhythmic motion. Now here is why this is more powerful than it looks. This gentle rocking does 2 things at once. Physically, it decompresses the lower spine and releases tightness in the hips and pelvis, areas that lock up from sitting during the day and create a dull discomfort most people do not even consciously register when they lie down. But neurologically, it does something even more important. Slow, repetitive motion activates the parasympathetic system. It is the same principle behind why rocking chairs are calming, why babies fall asleep in swaying arms, why the motion of a train makes your eyelids heavy. Your nervous system reads that rhythm and interprets it as safety. So you are not just stretching, You are speaking to your brain in a language it has understood since the day you were born. At this point, you should already feel a shift, something quieter, something settling. And that is exactly where we need you to be for what comes next. Quick pause. If this is making sense to you, if you are starting to see why the things you have tried before did not work and why this approach is different, please hit that subscribe button. I make these videos because I have watched too many of my patients suffer with sleep for years before anyone explained the real problem. Subscribing means the next video reaches you, and the next one connects directly to what your health needs. All right, let us get to practice 3. Practice 3, the breathing reset. This is the one I save for last on purpose, because this is the one that does the deepest work, and it is almost absurdly simple. You are already lying in bed. Your shoulders are softer. Your lower back has released. Your body is quieter than it was 10 minutes ago. Now we go to the breath, because the breath is the most direct line you have to your nervous system. It is, quite literally, the one function in your body that is both automatic and voluntary. You can let it run on its own, or you can take the wheel. And when you take the wheel in a very specific way, the results are remarkable. Here is the technique. It was developed by Dr. Andrew Weil, a physician who called it a natural tranquilizer for the nervous system. Researchers in sleep medicine have studied this pattern and its effects on the parasympathetic system. Step 1. Let all the air out of your lungs through your mouth with a soft, easy sigh. Empty out. Step 2. Close your mouth and breathe in quietly through your nose for a count of 4, slow and gentle. Step 3. Hold that breath. Do not clamp down, just pause. Hold it for a count of 7. This is the part that does the real work, and I will explain why in a moment. Step 4. Exhale slowly and steadily through your mouth for a count of 8. Let it all go. That is 1 cycle. Do 4 cycles total. No more than 4 if you are just starting. Now let me tell you what is actually happening inside your body during those 7 seconds of holding. When you hold your breath gently, a small, natural rise in carbon dioxide occurs. That rise stimulates your vagus nerve, the longest nerve in your body, and the master switch of the parasympathetic system, the brake we talked about earlier. The vagus nerve responds by slowing your heart rate, lowering your blood pressure, and dialing down the alert signals your brain has been sending all day. Then the long exhale, 8 full counts, extends that calming effect even further. A study published in Physiological Reports found that this kind of controlled breathing improved heart rate variability, which is a key marker of how well your body can shift from stress mode into rest mode. Researchers have observed increases in theta and delta brainwaves during this type of breathing, the same brainwaves associated with deep relaxation and the early stages of sleep. And here is what my patients consistently report. It is not that they decide to fall asleep. It is that sleep arrives, quietly, without effort. Somewhere around the 3rd or 4th cycle, the thoughts slow, the body softens, and the next thing they know, it is morning. One important caution: if you feel lightheaded at any point, stop and return to your normal breathing. This should feel gentle and calming, never forced or uncomfortable. Start with 4 cycles and let your body adapt over time. I want to tell you about a man I will call Gerald. Gerald was 71, a retired electrician from outside Manchester originally, though he had been living near his daughter's family for the past few years. Proud man. Did everything himself. Fixed the plumbing, kept the garden immaculate, refused to ask for help with anything. But his daughter called me. She said, "Dr. John, my dad is not himself. He is irritable during the day, he is forgetting things, and last week he nearly fell coming down the stairs. I think something is wrong." When Gerald came in, I asked him about his sleep. He waved his hand and said, "Sleep has been rubbish for years. I get maybe 3-4 hours a night, but that is just what happens, isn't it? You get old, you stop sleeping." I hear that sentence more than almost any other. That is just what happens. And every time, I push back. Because it is not just what happens. It is what happens when nobody addresses the real issue. Gerald's blood pressure was elevated. His reaction time was slower than I would like. His mood was flat, and all of it traced back to years of fragmented, shallow sleep. His body had been running on fumes. I did not overhaul his life. I gave him these 3 practices: shoulders and neck, the knee sway, the breathing with the 7-second hold. I said, "Gerald, 10 minutes before you turn the light off, every night, 2 weeks. Then come back and tell me what happened." He grumbled about it, said it sounded too simple, but his daughter made sure he did it. 14 days later, Gerald sat in my office and said something I will never forget. He said, "I woke up on Saturday morning, and I did not know what time it was. I had to check. It was 6:30. I had slept straight through. I cannot remember the last time that happened." His blood pressure had come down slightly. His daughter said his mood had lifted. He told me he had not stumbled on the stairs again. Was it just the 3 practices? I cannot say it was only that. We also reviewed his evening habits and adjusted a few things. But Gerald will tell you, the breathing is what did it. He said, "I lie there counting, and the next thing I know, I am gone." That word, gone. He said it with the most peaceful expression I have seen on a patient's face in a long time. So here is your plan, clear and simple. Tonight, before you turn the light off, do the 3 practices in order. Seated, shoulder and neck release first, then the lying knee sway, then 4 cycles of the breathing, in for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. 10 minutes total. You do not need to time it precisely, just move through them gently. Do the routine every night for at least 2 weeks. Not just on bad nights, every night. The power is in the repetition. Mayo Clinic sleep specialists emphasize that consistent bedtime routines are one of the most effective, evidence-based tools for improving sleep quality. Your brain learns the pattern. After several nights, it will begin winding down before you even finish the shoulder rolls, because it already knows where this is heading. Protect the time around the routine. Harvard Health recommends reserving the hour before sleep for winding down, dimming lights, stepping away from screens, letting the evening go quiet. These practices work best when the environment supports them. Do not judge the routine by your first night. Some people feel a shift immediately. For others, it builds over a week or 2. The trend is what matters, not any single night. Your nervous system spent years learning to stay alert. Give it a little time to learn something new. And please, if your sleep difficulty is severe, if you experience loud snoring, gasping at night, or if daytime fatigue is affecting your safety, speak to your doctor. Conditions like sleep apnea are common, treatable, and need proper evaluation. These practices are a strong foundation, but they are not a replacement for medical care when something deeper is going on. Here is what I want you to carry with you from today. Sleep is not a battle. It is not something you win through effort or willpower or buying the right product. Sleep is a surrender. It is your body saying, "I trust that I am safe enough to let go." And everything we covered today, the shoulder release, the gentle sway, the breathing with that 7-second hold, all of it is simply a way of earning that trust back. Your body has not forgotten how to sleep. It has been waiting for permission. Now, I want to hear from you in the comments. Which of the 3 practices are you going to try first tonight? And if you have been struggling with sleep for a long time, tell me how long. Because I want you to know, you are not alone in this, and it is not too late to change it. If someone you love is fighting this same battle every night, a spouse, a parent, a friend who keeps saying, "I just do not sleep anymore," send them this video. You might be handing them the first good night they have had in years. Subscribe if you have not already. In the next video, I'm going to talk about something most people never connect to their sleep. What you do in the first 30 minutes after waking up, and how it quietly determines whether you will sleep well that same night. You will not want to miss that one. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me with your time. I will see you in the next video.